Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I want to cover my attempt to defeat the Thunder Dragon at level 50. So before I start, I should just mention that my character is currently level 48. I'm incredibly close to level 49. So I could wait until really tomorrow to beat it, because when I hit level 49, all my characters class up to level 50. And at level 50, what that means is they can, advance, which would increase their stats by just by a decent amount. But the night is nearly over, and I really want to try to beat this Thunder Dragon now, so I get the additional rewards for beating a level 50 boss as opposed to a level 45 boss. So with all that said, I'm going to begin and see if I can do it or not. Now the Thunder Dragon especially requires very specialized tactics, and the reason for that is because if you open up his data sheet and then bring up his skills, his talent, it reduces all ranged attacks damage by 90%. So any ranged attack is basically useless against him. You can only hit him with melee attacks to win. In addition, if he kills a unit, he can act again. So if he kills a unit, he's going to attack a second time and probably kill off a second unit. And the other major thing about the Lv50 Thunder Dragon is he has this ability called Blitz Strike. Okay? First of all, it deals 4 times the physical damage to the target, which is already rough. But what is really game-breaking is that after the battle, he gets a buff. He gets plus 30% attack and plus 30% defense. And this ability cools down every turn. So it takes, he uses it, there's a 1-turn cooldown, then he can use it again. So basically, he can more or less endlessly maintain this attack and defense buff. What really hurts, to be honest, is that attack buff, because his attack is already 1325. Add another 30% damage to it, and yeah, it's up to like 1700, which is basically enough to one-shot most characters. So if you can deal with this attack buff by removing it somehow, then you can survive his attacks, that's okay. If you can't survive his attacks, that's where you're going to have trouble. So other than that, he also has an area of effect skill. It's slightly different from the others in that it damages the 3 blocks around him. The Thunder Dragon has a range of 4, so damaging 3 blocks around him means the red blocks, the last red blocks on the tiles around him, can be stepped on. So you can put characters 4 tiles away and still be okay if they can survive his attack. So, and that's the main thing about him. So what that means is you can put Almeda 4 tiles away from him, and if he's 4 tiles away from the target, he will apply a debuff on the enemy. So what I'm hoping is Almeda can keep applying debuffs to the Thunder Dragon, which will counter his personal buffing, and let me do enough damage to kill that Thunder Dragon. The other part of this that's very important is Bernhardt. Bernhardt runs talents that is different from what he would usually run in like PvP or PvE. In fighting this boss, he needs to run Hegemony so that he can dispel enemy buffs and decrease the enemy defense. This is quite important. In addition, he should run Sunshade, and the reason for that is because that way, with this ability, he can self-heal. And finally, of course, he runs the faction buff to increase the stats of your other characters, which is Leon. So now that that has been all covered, we'll begin this battle. Oh, one final thing I should mention is if I had Elwyn, this battle becomes much easier, because Elwyn is the only melee character that I know of that can actually steal buffs from the opponent. So he can take away the 30% attack and defense buff from the Thunder Dragon. Now, okay, but without him, I'm gonna have to fight this way, and we'll see if it works. It may be that I'll lose because I just can't do enough damage, but even if I can't do enough damage, this video will show how you can beat the Thunder Dragon after you hit, let's say, level 50, and you can upgrade your gear to level 50 attack weapons. With everything said, let's begin. So my setup is I have Leon right here, and the reason for that is I want him to be able to attack this Leviathan from turn 1 if possible. So placing him here, I can actually attack the Leviathan as well. And if I place him here, this Leviathan is unattackable. So I'm actually going to switch it slightly. I'm going to put my Leon up down here so he can attack the Leviathan. And then these guys are closer together so that they can move and attack this Leviathan up there. Alright, let's begin. So, Leon, first move, use Chivalry, which gives him some stat buffs as well. And he will attack the first Leviathan with everything he's got. He uses his skill and it knocks down the Leviathan quite significantly. It seems to have also applied some debuffs so that it can't heal itself, and it has minus 20% attack. Next, I'm going to move Liana and use again on Leon. And what Leon's going to do is he's going to take out another target. In this case, it's the Orc unit. And I was able to one-shot it. So now I'm going to position so I can attack the Archer, which means placing my Leon 5 tiles away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's place him in the forest here, where he'll take less damage from this Leviathan. Other than that, let's begin by moving up. Now, one thing about the Leviathans is they have water control, so they can move an additional 2 blocks to attack. So he'll move, let's say, down here, then move 2 more blocks to attack. So he can probably attack from here and hit Liana. So let's just move Ledin forward and apply his faction buff. And we will also move Bernhardt forward and apply his faction buff. Oh, and a quick note, I should say, is that my Bernhardt has speed boots so he can move 4 tiles as opposed to 3. It's going to be very useful in this map because of all these tiles that are mountainous terrain. So it's not normal terrain, which makes it very hard to move through. Alright, everything's been done, so let's end my turn. So the first Leviathan uses water control to attack my Leon. Second Leviathan comes down as I expected, and he attacks Bernhardt. Does quite a bit of damage actually. So, let's move Liana up and use her prayer skill, because it has a huge area of effect, affects everyone, you can see, right? 5 tiles. So let's pray her up, and everyone should get healed. Alright. Leon is going to kill the Archer, as I said. There we go. And I want to attack the Orc next. So 2, 4, 5, which means placing him right there. Or actually I can place him up here to avoid the Leviathan from attacking him. No, I can't, because he would do 1, 2, 3. So I can only go here or here. Okay, so not much I can do. Let's just place him away from the Leviathan. And I need to deal with this high hit point Leviathan. So it's not going to be the target I fight right now. Instead I'm going to kill the weakened one. And I'm going to move up and apply Divine Guard. So that would boost his attack value by quite a bit. You can see it's now 604. So I'll be able to attack this Leviathan the next turn. I will actually use the area of effect attack because there's no retaliation to it. So let's just do a bit of damage to the Leviathan right now. Since I have that opportunity. It's an interesting note. It also applies a minus 20% attack debuff. So it's a useful skill to have. You could use it to, in fact, to debuff the Thunder Dragon. So on that note, let's begin my attack. As I was saying, I want to kill the final infantry unit, the Orc unit. And it's down. And then I'm going to start moving towards the north. Ooh. And the reason I moved to the north is, if you've watched my previous video on fighting the level 45 dragon, my setup is up here for Leon. And the main reason for that is so he can move tiles to attack the dragon and then retreat back to 4 tile range. So by attacking from, here or here, he can then retreat back and he's 4 tiles away, so that the Thunder Dragon will not use his area of effect attack. So I'm going to have to now fight this Leviathan. So let's use some melee attacks on him. Move up. Almeda will heal up Ledin. And apply a debuff onto the Leviathan. And Ledin should be able to finish this off easily with 604 attack. Yep. So, that went well. It's now turn 3, and all the enemies are already dead. So now I have several turns to get my troops into position. So let's begin moving. Very important to get your characters into position for attacking. Let's just use act again because Ledin's pretty far behind. And move everybody up. Okay. So I'm just staying out of range and just getting my characters into position right now. Alright, so just want to see how I can get Bernhardt into 2 range of the Thunder Dragon. And the best spot to attack the Thunder Dragon from is here, because it offers plus 10% defense. So his range, let's see if I can move over there first, and how far that would take me. I have some time because it takes these guys a bit of time to get across to where they need to go. Let's do that. Slowly moving. And Ledin is going to trigger an attack by doing this, but I'm confident my Ledin will survive it. There it is, the attack, the Blitzstrike attack, which directly strikes your leader and applies, as I was saying, the buff onto the Thunder Dragon. And you see now his attack is at 1722. But I now So I have 2 turns to kill, pretty much. Moving characters around. Fortunately, going into the water here like this with the priestesses will keep them out of range of the Thunder Dragon. So moving in like this will put him at least within 2 range of the Thunder Dragon, which would reduce his attack by a bit for when I go in. Alright, so everybody's been moved, so let's end turn. It's turn 8. My characters are now basically in position. It did take a little bit of time, but it's important to move your guys into the right position to attack before you make the assault. That's more important than anything else. So, next turn the debuff will wear off, and then that's when I can start moving characters into range. Because in order for me to attack, I really need to apply some debuffs on him. So Almeda, who can apply debuffs from 4 tiles away, is very important to my strategy. Alright. Everyone's moved, or everyone's now pretty much in position, so I will begin moving in next turn. So now it's turn 9. I now have 6 turns left to kill the Thunder Dragon. But I believe I can do it. So here we go. I need to find a tile that that Almeda can safely step into to apply a debuff, which is right here. There's the debuff, and it was increased the damage he takes. Not great, but also not bad. Next, Ledin is going to apply Divine Guard from where he's standing. That way, he'll protect Almeda and also this tile right here, which is where Liana is going to end up. So Liana is going to move up and use Chivalry to attack the Thunder Dragon. Alright, Chivalry applied, and here comes the attack on the Thunder Dragon. Did some damage there. Next, let's move Liana to apply again on Leon, so that Leon gets a second strike at the Thunder Dragon this turn. Alright, we'll move him back. And now we move Bernhardt forward to apply a faction buff. So the characters are now pretty much in position. The Drake decides to attack my Leon and is protected by Ledin. Alright, so let's take a look at all the buffs that he has. Damage taken increased, right? And then he has his buffs, but he's also losing some attack from Bernhardt being 2 tiles away from him, which decreases attack to 16-16. Still not very survivable, to be honest, but it's a bit better. So, Bernhardt attack. Need to throw damage at the whatever damage I can apply to the dragon. Let's move Almeda up a bit. So the reason I moved her here is because it's also mountainous terrain, plus 10% of defense, while still remaining 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles away. And then heal up Ledin. And the debuff, please be... Nope, nope, just decreases defense some more. So he takes even more damage from my attacks. Alright, let's apply Prayer to heal up everybody, including Bernhardt over there. And finally, he activates his faction buff again. Ledin continues to protect Leon. Does a pretty good job at it too. And I will continue to assault the dragon. So it's down already to it's been knocked down to around half health now. Ledin, no, this is the critical turn. Ledin's Divine Guard is about to wear off this turn, you see. So I need to shift their positions so that Liana is shifted over. So let's begin by... Yeah, so I'm going to shift Liana out and heal up Ledin. And then move him over here into the mountain. So now he's still providing defense to Leon and Almeda. And then let's heal up. Another debuff applied. And it's a minus attack debuff this time, which is good. And Ledin continues to tank these hits quite successfully. So he can Divine Guard again. We will attack with Leon by using Chivalry and attack. 63,000 hit points, and there's 3 more turns, so I'm on pace to kill the Thunder Dragon now. Alright. And then we will apply again onto Leon. And that gives Leon a second strike at him. So 55. 37,000. It's definitely going down. And we will keep Ledin healthy and apply another debuff onto the dragon. Alright. Ledin continues to provide some good protection over there. So he is absolutely clutch to this strategy. As long as he doesn't die, you can keep doing damage. But if he dies, the Thunder Dragon will then attack a second target and probably kill off 2 of them. So the Empire buff is now wearing off. So the question is whether I reapply the Empire buff, and I think I have to. So it's turn 13, I have 2 more turns, so yeah, I can afford to apply the Empire buff this turn. So that's done. Let's... Yeah, so let's heal up Ledin first, and apply another debuff. Yeah. So it's keeping damage decrease and reduce defense on the Thunder Dragon, just letting me constantly throw additional damage at it. And we attack with Leon. Move back. Nothing to do. And heal up Leon. So keeping this formation, it's working out quite well. Right? Ledin's absorbing, being the tank. And then my other characters are being allowed to do damage. 26,000 hit points. It will go down by next turn, it looks like. So, continue to attack. Let's heal. Oh, I always should use Liana first. Or sorry, I should always use Almeda first because of the debuff that she applies. And this time, there wasn't really a good debuff. It was just minus defense and minus magic defense. But, you know. you're not going to get a perfect debuff every single time. Alright. And it is down to 8,500 hit points. So that means he is dead next turn. Guaranteed. So this has been successful. It used up the full time because it took me quite a few turns to get into proper position to set up. But after the setup has been done, it allowed me to have two characters constantly attacking the Thunder Dragon to do enough damage to kill it. So let's just attack. Come on, Bernhardt. And Bernhardt alone did enough damage. Whew. So it took the full 15 turns, as I was saying, but it was a successful attempt. And I got a few SSR scrolls and some Aura Column ore for this run. I was hoping for SSR items, equipment, but, you know, this isn't bad either. Alright, so this is the way you can consistently beat the Thunder Dragon once your tank is strong enough to take the hits from the Thunder Dragon. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section below and I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching, everybody. Nitro out.